Sechta Makos Daf Hey Amar Aleph. We're starting the Mishnah, the second line from the top. Mishal Shem Mamayin Adam that testified on a person that he owes money and he was Muslim and he became a chayv to pay the money that he accused this person. So Mishal Shem Mamayin means that two Adam divide the money. Mishal Shem Makos, but if they accuse the person of being chayv malkes, then they do not divide the malkes. Ketzad. How's the case? How you do if two Adam testified that he Reuben owes Shimon 200 zuz, and the Adam were the first Adam were found to be Muslim. We divide the money, the 200 zuz, that each one gives 100 zuz. But if they testify that he owes, they accuse this guy of being chayv malchus abayim, and they were found to be zaymamim, then we don't divide the malchus. Only each one gets the 39 malchus. Abaya said we learned out with this Gzeda Shava that we don't divide the punishment of malchus between the Eidim from them. Malchus. It says by people who are chayv malchus for their sin, it says the pasuk vayim bin hakis harash. It says the word rasha. With them, Rash b'chayv misas bezdin, and it also says the word rasha by one who's chayv misas bezdin. It says ashahu rasha lamus. So malahalam, just like when it comes to misas bezdin, a misas lemachzo, we don't divide the misas to have, and therefore if two Eidim testify on somebody that's chayiv misa and they were muzam, each one was chayiv misa. Afkan, so too, in your malchus, same malchus, look at machza. We're not going to divide the malchus in half. Rava says, be'inan, we need to fulfill in each one. Rava gives us svara. Why? There's a difference between malchus and mamayin. Be'inan, we need to be mekayim by each one. The pasvasi is like hasha, someone last is lachiv, the leika, and there isn't. And you can't fulfill it because each one tried to be mechayv the nidin with the full 39 malchus. So you can't divide that. So mama and nami, each one tried to be mechayv the person the whole 200. So why should there be any difference? The malchus, just like by malchus, since each one tried to be mechayv and the whole 39 lashes, each one gets 39 lashes. We should say the same thing with 280, not to divide it. Each one attempted to make the person be chayiv the full 200 zuz. And for the Gemara, mamay mitztaref. Nevertheless, since the nidain, the one who is being accused, is getting from the Eidim the whole schum that they accused them for, the 200 zuz, so therefore it's divided. Malchus lemon started, but Malchus, the nidain, is not gaining anything. He's not getting anything back with this that the Eidim are getting malchus, so therefore each one gets the full malchus. We learned in the Mishnah, Eidim nasim zay machi yezumo, as Hatzman, Eidim do not become zaymim until the Eidim themselves were muzam, not the testimony. Ketzah, what do we mean by that? They said, we testify about this person that he killed somebody, that Reuven killed Shimon. V'amru lahem, and they said to the meaning the two later Eidim said to the first two Eidim, hey chatam Eidim, how are you testifying that way? Sharei, the Shimon was nedag, the Shimon who was killed, or Reuben who was hahirik the killer, zeh hayimanu. Either the one that was killed or the one that the killer was with us that whole day that you're testifying about the Makam Pliny, that specific place that you're testifying in Makam Pliny in a different place other than the place that you're testifying about. Ain't elu zayman. That's not zayman because they're only contradicting the testimony, not the Eidim themselves. But if the second Eidim said to the first, hey Chatamid, how are you testifying? Sheyatem, you yourself, you were with us that day, but I'm complaining in another place. So now they're saying about the whereabouts of the Eidim themselves are being muzam. So that the Eidim, these Eidim are going to be zaymim. And they do get killed based on the second Eidim testimony that were mas in the first Eidim, because the first Eidim attempted to kill the one that they accused. Zag the Mishnah says further, Bo, if other two Eidim Achedim came that testified, like the first two Eidim who are Muslim, and these same Eidim that were Muslim, the first Eidim are being Muslim, the second pair of Eidim who are testifying like the first Eidim. Bo Achedim, and then if another pair came, even if 100 pairs came, and the Eidim who are being were Muslim, each group, Kulam Yaharga, they all get killed. Rabbi Yehuda says, Istatis hizu. That's impossible. This group of Eidim are lawyers, are saying sheker, because it's impossible. So many groups of Eidim should be Muslim by the same Eidim. The only one that gets killed is the first group. That's what the Mishnah says. Where do we learn out that you have to be Muslim the Eidim itself, not the testimony? Avada said we can learn out this din. It says in the pasuk, "Vehine eid sheka ha'eid sheka eina." Is mashma that the Eid himself has to be muzam. That the Pasha Vazam is not in the sky. At the Shaka Gufa Shaleidas, till they testify about the Guf of the Eidim, that they were elsewhere and they themselves are Shakranim, and not that their testimony is Sheker. The way Rabbi Yishmael Tana, the Talmud from the base Medrash of Rabbi Yishmael learned the Baraisa from a different pasuk. The beginning of the Inyan of Eidim Zayim, it says, Yakum eit chamas beish lanis beisara. So the mashma of the lashon Sarah means that the Eidus were musaris, meaning they do not become zayimim. Achi tisara gufa shel Eidus. Till the mazim, the second pair of Eidim testified that the first Eidim were elsewhere. Musarim means that they were not in this place, they were removed from this place, from the place where the story actually happened. The Gemara now brings many dinim that Rava said when the Geya to Eidim Zeimim. Amar Rava Bo Shnaim, if two Eidim came, Amar Bezdin, and they said in Bezdin, Bitzat Mizrach Habira, that they saw the incident from the east of the building. Harak Plainus Hanafish, that person killed another, Ruben killed Shimon Lavo, and afterwards Shnayim, another two Eidim came and they said, but you were with us on the west side of the binyan. How could you testify about the east side? Says if while they're standing on the west they could see the east, these Eidim are not Zayim because it's not a contradiction to their testimony. It's possible that they saw what was happening on the east side, how Reuben killed Shimon. But if they're unable to see from the west of the building to the east, then they are Zayim. In fact, what's the Chiddush of Rava itself understood? I would have thought ordinary person cannot see, but maybe this person could see it because he has a special eyesight. We're not concerned that he's somebody who is more special than another person, people that he was able to see. We're not concerned. We don't say that was it. We're not concerned for such a case. Two Eidim came and said that in Surah, in the city of Surah B'Tzafra, in the morning, on Sunday, Reuben killed Shimon. Two other Eidim came and they said, on Sunday in the evening, you were in the city of Nadar, not in Surah. So it says, we check out and look, if it's possible to travel from the morning to the evening from Surah to Nadar, they're not saying love. But if they're unable to travel from the morning to the evening from Surah to Nadar, then the Eidus Hazayim. In fact, you might have Pshita itself understood, says you want to know about the Tema, maybe we should be concerned, maybe these guys had flying camels, meaning camels that could go this speed as a flying camel. Kamashmalan, that we're not concerned that they had such fast camels. Rava said, another two people came to Bezdin on Tuesday. Shabbat on Sunday. Reuben killed Shimon. Another two Edom came and said to the first Edom, how could you testify that on Sunday you were with us? And the Mazimim that are being Mazim them say, yeah, it's true that Reuben killed Shimon, but it wasn't on Sunday. It happened on Monday. Harak playing Reuben killed Shimon. Even if the Edom who are being Mazim, the first Edom, they say no. He didn't kill him on Sunday. He killed him on Erev Shabbos. So plain as enough. Reuben killed Shimon. So he says Narogin that the Eidim are Zaymimim and the first Eidim and they get killed because the Beidim become the Gavra Laba Katlu. Because at the time that they testified, this person wasn't judged for Misa. They testified either Monday, even if they testified on Shabbos, but there was no Psak Din. The Eidim didn't come to testify about these people that Chai Misa till a later date. So when they testified about Sunday, it was before the Gemar Din. It was before the Gemar Din. So they were accusing somebody who hasn't killed anybody. Al Pi Bezdin. So they were accusing somebody who was not chayiv, and they were caught to be liars. So they're chayiv misa. What is he ever coming to teach with this thing? Even though the Nidim is chayiv misa b'bezdin according to the last Eidim, but nevertheless, you say the first Eidim get killed. That's what you want to tell us, because when the first Eidim testified before the Mazimin came and testified that Shmi Chayiv Misa, he wasn't Chayiv yet. So what does he come? So Tanina, we learned this already. This din, similar din, that if there are many Eidim who are testifying on a person that is Chayiv Misa, and they don't see each other b'shas Maisa, they're considered as two separate groups. If you have two Eidim testifying on one side of the building and another two on the other side of the building, and they don't see each other, they're considered as two separate groups. If one of the groups were found to be Muzam, that two other Eidim came and said about one of the groups, how could you testify Reuben killed Shimon in that place, in that building? You were with us elsewhere, even though now, but there's another group that did testify from a different side of the building. So the halacha is shehu v'hein neragin. That meaning the one that's being accused, because there's other two Eidim who were not Muslims, so the one who was being accused gets killed, and also the Eidim who are Muslim get killed. V'hashniya, but the second pair of Eidim that was testifying on the other side of the building are Potter because they weren't Muslim, and based on that testimony, the accused one gets killed. So you see that even though the person was Chayiv Misa, here you have a case, two Eidim were, even though the accused one is being Chayiv Misa because of the second group of Eidim who were not Muslim, so l'cheira he's going to be the accused one is really Chayiv Misa. We say the first Eidim, since they accused them on something on a time where he wasn't yet Chayiv, we punish those Eidim as Eidim Zemim, and they get killed together with the one that they accused. And if you want to know, say from Marshain came B'Gemar Din Itzchalei. He says Rav Taki didn't have to say the Reisha. He only said it only to let us know the Sefer that if they testify after the Gemar Din, in such a case, the Zaymim do not get killed. Meaning, if two people came to Bezdin on Tuesday, and they said on Sunday, that this person was gepaskin for Misa, for killing a person, and afterwards, another two Eidim came, they said to the first Eidim, how could you testify b'chad b'Shabbat about Sunday? Imanu Ha'isam, on Sunday you were with us, but the emes is that there was a Gemar Din for Misa and Bezdin, but it wasn't on a Sunday. And about Shabbos, it happened, the Nigmar Din Shalpleni. It was on Erev Shabbos that the person was gepaskin that he should be, the accused one, was gepaskin that he should be Chai Misa. Even if they didn't say that Reuven killed Shimon on Monday, and Nigma didn't show plainly, and there was a psak din on Monday that is Chai Misa. Ein Elo, the first Eidim do not get killed because the Be'ina Komisadi Gava Katalu. Because at the time when he testified, when the Eidim testified, which was on a Tuesday, he was already Chai Misa from other Eidim, either out of Shabbos, either on Monday, even though they testified about Sunday, and the Misa actually happened on Monday, but the Psak didn't happen on Monday, and they testified on Tuesday that he killed on Sunday. They're not going to be Chai Misa because there was already a Nigma Dina on Monday before the testimony to accuse him, before the testimony that they gave on Tuesday about Sunday. Their testimony when they came was Tuesday after the Gemar Din, which happened on Monday. Rabbi adds, Le'inyan Tashlumi Knas, even there you could be Mechalik when if there was a Nigma Dina Shalanidain before Eidus or not. Bo, if two people came to Bezdin on Tuesday, and they said Sunday, Ganav, Reuven stole from Shimon and shechted and sold it. Ulachmi came to come, Bo Shnayim. Afterwards, another two Eidim came, and they said about the first Eidim, how could you testify that Reuven stole from Shimon on Sunday? On Sunday you were with us. And nevertheless, they say this story is true, but it happened on Monday. So the first Eidim, Mishalman, the first Eidim have to pay Adalat v'Hei, like Eidim Zemim. Even if the ones that are being Maziv are saying, really, he stole before Sunday, he stole out of Shabbos. Nevertheless, the Eidim are Eidim Zemim, and they have to pay. Because at the time when they testified, the person wasn't yet nifsik that as a ganef. He wasn't yet paskin as a ganef. And these two Eidim who are accusing of stealing are liars, accusing in the meantime a person who's not really a ganef. They were just accusing him. They didn't really know, so they have to pay. Bo Shnayim, but if two people came to Bezdin b'yom hashlishi and say on Sunday, Ganav, Reuven stole from Shimon the Tavach Macha and he shechted and he sold, so you have to pay Dalad V'Hei. Nigma Dina, and there was a psak that the accused one has to pay Dalad V'Hei. Bo Shnayim Achenim Yamo and B'chad Shabbat, and then two other Eidim came and said on Sunday, how could you testify he stole on Sunday? You were with us. El Shabbat Shabbos Ganav. Only rather he stole on Erev Shabbos before Sunday with Tavach Macha, Shachtan and sold this. Enigma Dina, and also on Friday, Erev Shabbos, Bezdin made it, gave the psak, he has to pay Dalad V'Hei. So in such a case, then the Eidim Zemim don't pay anything. Even if they say that he stole on Sunday, Ganav with Tavach Macha, and he shachted and sold it, in that case he's chayiv Dalad V'Hei ubetei b'Shabbato nigmadina. And really, the psak din happened on Monday. Ein the Eidim don't mishalman. The Eidim are not mechliv to pay because their testimony happened on Tuesday, and Monday there was already a psak din, even though their testimony on Tuesday was about Sunday, because the Ina Kamsadi Gavra Bat Hashlomihu. Because at the time when they testified about this person, he was already mechuyev to pay. Rabbi Yehuda Oima Istatis Hizu. Rabbi Yehuda says that if the Eidim Zemim testified about 100 groups that they were with them and they were being mazim 100 groups, we say for sure he's a liar. He is the Hizu. If he's considered as a liar, Afilu Kati Shaina, Namiloi Tarik Apiyam. Even the first group should not be killed based on their testimony. Rabbi Avo said, you're right, but my Hava, they already killed them. So what happened, happened. So it's a done deal. Zog the Gemara. Let me see. My Hava. Okay. What happened, and so therefore the halacha is really what happened, and it was betos that the first Adam got killed. So what's the chiddush? Rather, Rava says this is the kavanah of Mishnah. If there's only one kat that they're going to be mechayiv the nidain, they're going to be mazim, then the first Adam will get killed. But if there are many more groups of Adam testifying the same as the first group who are Muslim, and now they're being Muslim each group, none of them get killed. So you're saying the case was talking about only if there was one group, that's when that group gets, who's Muslim, if there was only one group of Adam who testify, and then a second pair of Adam who are Muslim, the first Adam, that's when they get killed. But if there's more groups, they don't get killed. In fact, how can you say it's talking about one group? It says in the Mishnah Fedish, which is only the first group out of all the groups. It's implying there are more than one group in the Mishnah. And nevertheless, we say the first group gets killed. And according to what you're saying all the groups don't, either none of the groups get killed. If there are many groups, you say none of the groups, and we know the Mishnah is talking about many groups. Kasha. So you want to bleibt that kasha. You want to bring some machlekes of Amarayim, and it wants to be told in the machlekes of Chachamim Rabbi Yehuda Aval Mishnah. There was the story of this woman, the Elsa Sadei, that she brought Eidim to testify for her benefit. It says the Gemara, and we found Eidim to be shakranim. And then she brought Azla, I say Sadei, then she went and brought other Eidim. And again, and they were found to be liars. And then she third time brought a third group. But now the way but these Eidim weren't proven to be liars. Reish Lakish says, since twice she was caught bringing false witnesses, this Isha became a mursik to bring Eidei Shaka, and therefore we don't accept the third pair of Eidim. Reish Lakish. If she is mursik to bring Eidei Shaka, call you so mihilsiku. Are you going to say all the Yidden are mursik to listen to her and testify falsely? I mean, it doesn't make sense that all the Yidden should listen to a woman and testify falsely. At another time, a similar story came before them. Reish Lakish says, this woman is a musrik to bring falsified Eidus, and we can't accept this third group. Rabbi Yechon said to Reish Lakish, if she is a musrik to bring falsified Eidus, call yourself Milchziku. Lishmaila, is all the Yidden going to be musrik to listen to her? Hadar Chazir Ablaza Bishus. So right away, Reish Lakish turned his face and looked at Ablaza with a sour face. But he understood that Ablaza heard this member from Rabbi Yechon, and he didn't say it in his name. So he saw Reish Lakish was upset. Amalei Reish Lakish said to Ablaza, "Shamayte milim v'anafka v'lo yamatli mishmei." You heard something from the blacksmith, and meaning from Rabbi Yechon, and you didn't say it in his name, right? You said it as if it's from your name. So like your mother wants to be mevar. Lema, should we say the machliks of Rabbi Yechon Reish Lakish is telling the machliks of the Chacham Rabbi Yehuda and our Mishnah? If two Eidim who are mazim, or mazim many groups of Eidim, is it considered as a shaka? The Reish Lakish, the Rabbi Yehuda, Reish Lakish holds that the Isha is a musik to be a liar, in being falsified Eidim. We can't trust her anymore. He holds like Rabbi Yehuda that says that one kat that's mazim so many groups is as if is speaking shkar because he's already a musik alive. Rabbi Yechon but Rabbi Yechon holds we're not concerned, and he holds like the Chachamim now Mishnah. We're not going to be mazik the mazimim, the one pair of Eidim who's being mazim all these groups of Eidim into shakranim. No, we're going to trust them. Says Gemara, you can't prove that's what. That the machlekes of Rabbi Yechon and Shlakish is arguing the same machlekes of Rabbi Yehuda and the Rabbanan now Mishnah. You could say Amalach Reish Lakish. Reish Lakish could say I know the Amilah Afilu Rabbanan. I could even hold like the Shita of the Chachamim that over here in our Mishnah we will trust the Eidim Mazimim. That can't like Kamir Rabbanan Hasam. There the Chachamim didn't make the Mazimim as Muchsik Keshakranim. Because the lake of the Hakal Mahada, there's nobody who's searching to rent Eidim to be Mazim, anybody that will be Bechayv the Nideh. We don't see any one person hiring them to be Mazim every group of Eidim that comes in. But over here in our case with the woman, she keeps on going back and hiring other Eidim to testify on her behalf. So therefore we say in such a case it will be Mursik Shakranim according to Reish Lakish, only in our case by Isha, because she's searching to fire Eidim. I could even say like by Yehuda that really by Eidim who are being Mazim, so many groups of Eidim should be considered Shakranim and not by the Isha. That can like come Rabbi Yehuda Hasam. There Rabbi Yehuda was machzik the mazim as kishakranim mishum the amrin otaki kulu alma gabayana yichad havekaima. It's wondrous. Is it then the whole world was next to these two Eidim? How could it be that every group of Eidim were right next to these Eidim? That's why the musik is liars. But here by the Isha, there's no reason to say that the last Eidim are lying like the first ones. We could say the last Eidim knew the testimony about the woman, and they spoke truthfully, and the first ones didn't really know, and they were shakranim, and therefore, he'll be made even to Rabbi Yehuda that the last Eidim will not be considered as shakranim. Sagt the Mishnah, Eidim sagen narag ad shehigama adin. Eidim don't get killed unless there was first a Gemar Din, and they were Muslim before they executed the Psak Din, then they get Kasha Zama. Shari Atzdik Hayim Shaina Eidim Zaim Narag Acheyaharek till the Tzdikim would say that Eidim Zaim are not Muslim, they don't get punished until they actually kill the person, the accused one. Shanam, like it says in the Pasuk, Nefesh B'Nefesh. So it's mashma the Pasuk. You actually have to take the soul of the Zimim against the soul that they took, that of the accused. The Chacham said back, what? It already says in the Pasuk, you should do to them like they attempted, not like it was done. So which implies the brother is still alive, and there we punished Eidim Zimim like they wanted to do to him. Why does it say nefesh b'nefesh? The Gemara, because sheyachol mishar shekibla yedus, I would have thought that they get punished even from when Edus accepted, when accepted the testimony, even before they came with a psak din. That's why we have nefesh b'nefesh to tell us that they don't get killed until the actual psak din. Zog the Gemara Hatana B'Ribi, that's the name of a Chacham. Tana, we don't Raisa B'Ribi says that if Leihargo, if the Eidim were not killed, meaning Leihargo, if the Eidim did not kill the Nidin in the time that they were found Zayimim, the Bezdin did not kill the Nidin based on the testimony of the Zemim, Arel and Nahargan, they get killed. But if they did kill him already, then the halacha is, if they did kill him already, Ein Nahargan, they don't get killed. Amalei Aviv, Beribi said to his father, L'madatanu, Rabbeinu shein eish min adin. You taught us that you cannot punish, you cannot learn a punishment from a kavachema. So meaning, therefore, you can't learn with a kavachema. 1 second. Ein neragas. Amalei yav chilaf kavachema. So the Beribi said to his father, "Isn't there a kavachema? If when they just attempt to kill him, you killed Adam Zayim, for sure. If he got killed, because of the Adis, for sure the Adam Zayim should get killed." Amalei. So Beribi said back to his father. The first one was that. The father said to the son, "Lav kavachemihu," and Beribi is answering now to the father, that we cannot learn out a punishment from a kavachema. The Tanya that we learned in the Braisa, it says in the pasuk Yisrael, "Bas aviv, oy bas imay, ein li elam bas aviv, shloi bas imay, or bas imay shloi bas aviv." That if somebody lives with a sister, which is a sister from the father's side, or a sister only from the mother's side, that's where there's kares. But how do we know if she was a full-fledged sister from both sides? Talmud Lema comes the pasuk and says, from here we learn out that even on taking a full-fledged sister from the father and mother's side, is chayiv kares. Is akasha ad shel. Why do you need a pasuk of Evas Hachlisa Gila Yeshli Bidin? I can learn it out from a Kavachema. Im Anish Abbas Abishlei Bas Ima Yobasim Shlei Bas Aviv. If the punishment is on a sister from the father's side or only from the mother's side, there's the punishment of Kares Bas Aviv Bas Ima like Kol Shekain. One who's a sister from both sides, for sure there should be the punishment of Kares. Why do I need a pasuk? So we learn out from here that we cannot punish from a kavachema. Says, I heard you brought me a raya that you cannot learn out punishment from a kavachema. But from where do we learn out ein mazin min adin? Meaning that we don't learn out azhara b'negei techiyuv malchus from a kavachema. Says the Gemara Talmud Lema. It says by the azhara of shaloi likach achis, not to take a sister. It says avos achis bas avichai bas imacha, and then ainly ella bas avishlei bas imay bas imshlei bas av. I only know what kind of a sister is. That's her going on a sister only from the father's side or only from the mother's side. How about bas imay, but a sister that's a full-fledged sister from the mother and father's side? How do we know he does get malchus? Before the pasuk says this, Yeshli, what do I need that pasuk? Yeshli limud v'nadim, I can learn it out from Nakavachayma. Ma im huza basim b'shloi bas aviv or bas b'shloi basim yamad, a sister from the mother's side or a sister only from the father's side is gonna get malchus bas aviv ubas imay like koshkein. But if it's a sister from both sides, the father and mother side, for sure she get malchus. From here we learn out that we don't learn out malchus minadin. We don't learn the hazara from a kavachema. I'm sorry, the hazara we don't learn out from the kavachema. The yop malchus minayim. From where do we learn out that even by Adam would testify on somebody that's chayiv malchus when he was Muslim, that they don't get malchus only if the din was nigbar. Talmud Lema Rasha. Comes the pasuk because we have a Gzeir Shava. It says Rasha. It says Rasha by chayiv malchus and it says Rasha by chayiv mises. And we learn out just like by chayiv mises, it's only if nigma dina then we do kasha zaman. So too by malchus chayiv galos menayim. From where do we learn out the din? is even by Edom who attempted to be somebody Mechayv Golas. And they were Muslim that they don't go to Golas only if there was Nigmadina, there was a Psakdin from Bezdin, and the Gemara asks you, let's say, we learn out with the Gzeidah Shabbat that it says by Chayv Golas, the word Reitzech, and it says by Chayv Mises Reitzech. Just like by Chayv Mises has to be Gemadin, so too by Chayv Golas. The Gemara brings a story that happened with the Yehud ben Tabai. Tanya Rabbi Yehud ben Tabai, Erev Nechama, he says, I won't see comfort, and it was like a Lashon Shvua. In Loi, if this story is not exactly like I say, I killed one aid who was Muslim out of the two aidim, and Bezdin gave up Sakdin that this accused should be Chayv Misa, and one of the aidim were Muslim, so I killed him. In order to take it out of the thoughts of the tzedeikim, that he has to act, that the accused has to actually be killed. So that's why he killed the Eidem Zayman, to prove, even before the accused was killed, that the Eidem Zayman get killed. Because they would say that the Eidem Zayman do not get punished till the Nidin actually gets killed. He says, I will not see comfort in Loi if the din was only if you see that the din is like I say it. You spilled pure blood. Do not get killed until all the Eidim are Muslim. The Eidim do not get Malkas for what they attempted to be Mechayv the person Malkas actually Yezumish Nayim till both Eidim are Muslim. Immediately Rabbi Yehuda ben Tabai said, I'm not going to paskin anything else of Nation ben Shetach, only in front of Shem ben Shetach, just in case if I make a mistake, Shem ben Shetach will be there to correct me. All the life of Rabbi Yehuda ben Tabai, he was by the cave of that aide who he had killed to be Mephiasim, and there was his voice, Rabbi Yehuda ben Tabai's voice was heard. People were saying, no, it's the sound of the one who was killed. So Yehuda ben Tabai said, it's my voice, and I'll prove to you, Teidu, you'll have a raya, because Lamachol Meis tomorrow, Yehuda ben Tabai says about himself, he's going to pass away. The sound won't be heard. Said to Ravashi, what's the raya? The Dilma Kedina come Bahadei. Perhaps the Harug is who before Bezdin was Gepaskin Bezdin Shomayla, meaning he took him to the Bezdin Shomayla, and that's why he became quiet. When he passed away, he was able to take Yehuda ben Tabai to the Bezdin Shomayla. Inami Payus Baise, or perhaps we can learn that he calmed him down. Zog the Mishnah, it says, according to the testimony of 2 or 3 Eidim, the May should die. Why did the Pasuk detail 3 Eidim? Elam, says the kavan of the Pasuk, is lahakish, to compare Shnaim l'shleisha, mas shleisha. Just like by 3 Eidim is Sashnaim, they're able to be Mazim 2 Eidim. Avashnaim Yizim Sashleisha. So 2 Eidim can be Mazim 3. Afilu Mei Eidim, even 2 Eidim can be Mazim 100 Eidim. Where do we see it? Talmud Leiman. That's why the pasuk added the word Eidim. Rabbi Shimon Haima, that we can learn this din. Other din from a Hakesh of Shnaim L'Shleisha Leimelach. Mashnaim, just like 2 Eidim, Ein Haragin, Ache Yushnaim Zemim. Just like 2 Eidim do not get killed if they're Muslim till both are going to be Zemim. Mav Shleisha, Ein Haragin, Ache Yushnaim Zemim. So 2, 3 Eidim will not be killed until they'll all 3 be Zemim. How do we know, even if it's 100 Eidim, that they're not going to get killed till all of them are going to be Muslim? That's why the pasuk comes and tells the word Eidim. Then he's not coming to be Makos, that they don't become Zayim until all of them become Muzim, and Lachmalav, only he's coming to be Machma. The last says, meaning, to tell us that the third person, who we don't even need his testimony, gets punished like the other two Eidim. So, and Im Kain, if so, just like Hashem punishes the one who's not even needed, but he participated with the other Eidim to do an Aveda, so and they get they get punished like the Aveda themselves. How much more so when somebody tags along with people who could do the mitzvah themselves, and he tagged along with them, he gets the schar just like the people who are actually doing the mitzvah. From the Hekesh apostle, just like by two, if you found one of them to be a Karab apostle, Eidos Metela, the whole Eidos is bottle. Also, if he found by three, if one of them were found to be a Karab apostle, it's going to be bottle. Even if it's 100 Eidim. That's what the Eidim comes to tell us, that even if one of them is a Karab apostle, it's going to pass the whole Eidos.